Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm in my office. I'm going to be reacting to a tele-animated video for you guys, and I figured today I was going to react to one of my favorite sci-fi robot characters. And I figure, since it's the summer, sometimes people like to watch sci-fi robot movies during the summer as well. You never know. Anyway, so the one I'm going to react to first is the evolution of the Terminator. Hands down, my favorite sci-fi robot franchise. So without further ado, I'm going to point the camera for you guys to the computer screen, and let's get this reaction on the road, shall we? Alright, folks, here we go.
The year is 2020. Multiple companies have retained control of the Terminator franchise, and as a result, the timeline has been fractured. With each fracturing, a new batch of Terminators hits the silver screen. Our only hope is to summarize the evolution of the Terminator and make sense of this sloppy franchise.
I know you had to bring that up, but anyway, yeah, I kind of agree with him on that because I figured like Terminator 1, 2, 3, and Salvation were the timeline, like the main timeline. But then when they decided to do Terminator Genesis and Dark Fate, it kind of scattered it off. Oh, and even the TV show, which I have not seen.
Skynet first sends a T-800 in 1984. He sports beige pants, black boots, a patterned tee, and a bulky gray jacket, while he's
the OG Terminator.
Nearly impenetrable, he can be burned, and as such, his hair is shortened and his eyebrows are singed off. He then wears a leather jacket, gray shirt, and covers up an eye wound with wide glasses. His mission is to hunt down Sarah Connor, the mother of future resistance leader, John Connor. But he is hit by a truck and engulfed in an explosion, revealing his wobbly T-800 endoskeleton that gets blown apart and crushed in a hydraulic press. A new T-800 appears in T2. This one wears leather pants, smaller boots, and both a dark and light gray shirt. His hair is shorter, and his glasses are smaller. He's been reprogrammed.
I kind of like how this Terminator looked compared to the original. Looks more like a 90s assassin. Anyway.
Protect John Connor from the T-1000, a liquid metal Terminator with the ability to form sharp weapons.
I mean, a machine that can like form liquid metal into knives and other stabbing weapons. That's kind of a cool feature, even able to
weapons with his limbs and morph into other forms. He's impervious to typical weaponry, but can be frozen and shattered, although he can quickly piece himself back together. Ultimately, he's defeated when blasted into molten steel, with the T-800 following close behind.
I wish he didn't do that. He could have stayed around to help John. But no, he just felt like if he was staying around, somebody probably would have learned about his tech to remake the Terminators.
To eradicate this timeline of all Terminator technology, preventing Skynet's inception. T2, Battle Across Time, introduces the early model T-70 with the machine gun arm, as well as the spotter-like liquid metal T-1000.
Okay, that's creepy.
That's just a theme park attraction, so we'll move on. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, showcases the scooter-like T-1s, includes a brief appearance of the T-900 and the T-800.
Yeah, hold on, let me back up right there. I wish we had films with this as the main killer Terminator. Like, I think it was in the show, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, but I mean in the movie, come on. They only showed it like as a brief cameo in Terminator 3, like I said. I hope they bring it back, but anyway.
And the T-800 is back. I mean the T-850. He wears a more streamlined jacket, looks about 10 years older, and briefly dons star-shaped glasses. He's stronger,
Yeah, when they introduced this model, I said, yeah, I saw the endoskeleton, and I said, I love how that model was built compared to the T-800. So this one can withstand a lot more firepower and a little bit like, I think it was built to withstand like plasma weapons too. Since the T-800s could probably be blown apart.
Stand heavier firepower and has a hydrogen power supply, which is prone to explosions. This machine is in charge of protecting John Connor and his future wife from the female T-X, whose endoskeleton is encased in liquid metal and mostly wears a skin-tight red suit. She has an arsenal of armed weapons, can spin her head 360 degrees,
That was creepy.
identify DNA from a sample of blood, morph into other people, and enlarge her breasts at will. But in the end, she is no match for the T-850's power supply suicide, which allows John Connor and his wife to escape to safety as Judgment Day begins. The TV series, The Sarah Connor Chronicles, features the smaller T-888 models, which make use of a hidden leg compartment to hold their gun, a liquid metal T-1001 that can use her extra liquid metal to form pet eels and morph into a fast-moving slug, and the dainty in size T-900
there's
to
the
protect
T-900.
John Connor. But this show is a whole can of worms, so let's keep going.
Well, if they didn't have the writer strike, they probably would have had a season 3. Which I think I've seen clips of the show on YouTube, but I didn't watch like the whole series, so I need to do that. I gotta find it on DVD. So let's continue.
Following Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation showcases the upgraded T1s, the hulking T600s,
I love that
which
one.
wear unconventional
Even though it was the early predecessor to the T-800s.
rubber masks and tattered clothing, the smaller T-700 endoskeletons,
I like that one too.
Moto Terminators, and Marcus, a human Terminator hybrid who unknowingly carries a chip that allows...
I remember going to the movie theaters with my dad to watch this film, and I thought it was brilliant. And the whole idea of taking somebody who signed their body over to be studied on and then, reactivate them as like a hybrid Terminator. And they don't know they're a Terminator. I mean, that was cool and creepy at the same time when Marcus found out he was a Terminator. He was screaming, "No!"
Allows Skynet to control him. In a turn of events, Marcus rejects the chip and opts to help John Connor in battle, going so far as to donate his heart to save John's life. In Terminator...
And I would like to know what would have happened if they did Terminator 5 off of Terminator Salvation, be like continuing on that storyline. Because they had earlier drafts of the original ending for Terminator Salvation. They were going to have John Connor get his skin grafted and also his brain transplanted into Marcus's body. And then he would end up killing the Resistance, I thought that would have been a crazy idea, but then scary and terrifying at the same time. I'm glad they didn't do it.
Genesis, the previous 2 sequels are entirely ignored. This time, the T-800...
I hate it when they do that, folks, because, it's like almost like Back to the Future where you just go back in time and then erase some stuff and then boom. Only one timeline exists now.
appears older, sports a hooded jacket, and has slicked back hair. In this timeline, he was sent to raise a young Sarah Connor. Together, they take down the original film's T-800 and a remodeled T-1000. Then, after a 33-year time jump, he appears even older and wears a green jacket with blue jeans, followed by a darker ensemble. This film's future also features the Terminator embodiment of Skynet, the T-5000, which infects John Connor with nano-robots.
Which I thought that was cool right there. But I didn't know what Skynet's actual endoskeleton looked like, if he had one. And then he's affecting humans to look like this.
Turning him into the T-3000 hybrid. The T-3000 travels back in time to ensure Skynet's survival, but the T-800 forces him into a prototype time machine, which tears him apart, while the T-800 lands in liquid metal, giving him a liquidy upgrade. Taking place after T2, Dark Fate premieres
See what I
yet
mean?
another...
You're trying to start a whole new storyline and be like, oh, come on. And they're saying that Terminator Dark Fate was the true T3, which I don't like that idea. I like T3 better.
T-800, and this one finally manages to kill John Connor.
I hated
22
that.
years later, he's older, sports a plaid shirt, blue jeans, and a slick brown jacket. He's also grown a masculine beard, renames himself Carl, adopts a family, and is running a drapery.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense. I mean, if he was a Terminator, I was surprised he won't be running a gun shop or something, instead of a drapery business.
Business. Dark Fate also introduces Grace, a human with cybernetic alteration.
Another human with robot replacements, just like Marcus. Or, excuse me, he was all Terminator with human flesh. But anyway, you guys get the point.
Who requires replenishment via various drugs to stay in top shape. In this timeline's future, the animalistic Rev 7 model is sick. They have tentacle-like spikes on their back and can split apart, forming an additional liquid.
Which, at least this storyline, I kind of like seeing two Terminators able to split in two. I said that's actually kind of neat.
With metal model. But the main antagonist, the Rev 9, is able to appear human while retaining the ability to split his endoskeleton.
That's neat. You know, I just thought about it. It'd be kind of creepy if humans can do that. No. I don't want to see nobody's skeleton. But anyway. But yeah, I mean, the Rev 9 actually looks cool. And people kept saying it's a cross between like the T800 and T1000. Kinda. You know, like that's the liquid metal and that's the endoskeleton. But then I kind of see it like, you know, another version of like a TX, which has got the endoskeleton and liquid metal covering it. But still pretty cool.
From himself. Grace, the T-800, and a grizzled Sarah Connor protect Danny, this timeline's future resistance leader, from the Rev 9, which gets tossed into a giant blender, is overloaded with Grace's power supply, and held down by Carl, disintegrating them both. And now, we just wait until Arnie needs another paycheck for the next reboot to get greenlit.
Which I don't know if that's going to happen, because I think Arnold kind of stated in an interview that he was probably through with the Terminator franchise unless they have a good script and it pays good, like he kind of hinted at. And I kept hearing they were thinking about doing a Terminator 7 movie, but they were trying to get like John Cena and Margot Robbie involved, which, hey, I don't mind either way. Get to see another Terminator movie made. And plus, I heard they got a Netflix show coming out as an anime type show. It's supposed to show you the events leading up to the first Terminator film in the future, which, hey, I can't wait to see that too. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more animated content like this. And let me know down in the comments if you are a huge fan of the Terminator franchise like I am. And you want to see another Terminator film made. Because I know if they do, he's going to update this list probably. But anyway, this has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I say that's a wrap, and have a nice day, buddy.